President Trump impeached again by the House of Representatives. It was about the quickest impeachment, I think, probably in U.S. history, because you had only 2 hours of debate. They stuck to those 2 hours of debate. They had no hearings before it.
Mike Ludig is a former judge on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fourth Circuit. Let me just read the first paragraph of what he wrote. He said, "It appears that even if the House of Representatives impeaches President Trump this week, the Senate trial on that impeachment will not begin until after Trump has left office and President-elect Biden has become president on January 20th. The Senate trial would be unconstitutional."
Mitch McConnell clearly stated, and I'll read it, "Given the rules, procedures, and Senate precedents that govern presidential impeachment, there is simply no chance that a fair or serious trial could conclude before President Biden is sworn in next week. The Senate has held 3 presidential impeachment trials. They've lasted 83 days, 37 days, and 21 days, respectively. Even if the Senate process were to begin this week and move promptly, no final verdict would be reached until after President Trump had left office."
The first thing that any court looks at is whether it has jurisdiction to entertain a motion or a trial or whatever the proceeding is. And the other thing you got to have is a defendant. And they don't have a defendant if you don't have an incumbent president.
This is a private citizen being impeached. I don't know I don't read the Constitution that way. It says officers. It says the president. It says the vice president. It doesn't say former.
An impeachment is an indictment. That's all it is. It's a charge. In order to try on a charge, you got to have a defendant and you have to have jurisdiction. If the remedy is to remove him from office, guess what? He's gone. Who are you trying? What are you trying to achieve? It's unconstitutional, in my opinion.
That would be a question in the first instance for Justice Roberts. Does he indeed have a trial to preside over? And secondarily, even assuming the Senate overrules Justice Roberts, I think the defendant in this particular case, President Trump, would still have a plausible argument for the entire Supreme Court.
What Senator Tom Cotton wrote in his statement he just put out today. The House has passed an article of impeachment against the president, but the Senate, and I keep saying this, under its rules and precedents, cannot start and conclude a fair trial before the president leaves office next week. Under these circumstances, the Senate lacks constitutional authority to conduct impeachment proceedings against a former president. The founders designed the impeachment process as a way to remove office holders from public office, not an inquest against private citizens.
The threat of this over any administration, that at any time during their life, I mean, maybe they can do it posthumously. Can they impeach a president after he's deceased? I mean, because there's no jurisdiction, because as you said, Andy, impeaching the president is to remove him from office.
The minute Joe Biden puts his hand down and says, "So help me God," the jurisdiction over Donald Trump and the Senate is over with.
I think President Obama, you bring up the good point, because we kind of laughed about that in the beginning. We said, this is not how you hold them accountable. You can't impeach them after they've left office, because they've already left office. And he, again, though, this would open the door to that. Strip him of all of his benefits. Of Secret Service protection, of his stipend, of his multi-million-dollar travel budget he receives for the rest of his life yearly. Strip him of all of that, of all that comes with being an ex-president. Could the next Republican majority do that? And listen, it's not very far away.
Yes.
Under this theory, absolutely.
And for that reason, again, it's not a good idea. The man has served. He served his country. You don't like his policies. He served 2 terms. He's out. It's done. It's finished. Why are we going backwards? This is the same thing.
Would you even send lawyers if you're President Trump?
I don't know. I don't think I would. I don't think I'd show up. Yeah. I don't think I'd acknowledge it, unless you just wanted to get on record the motion to dismiss. But I think it's almost like that kind of thing. I mean, he's out of office, so he has no obligation to show up.
Whether or not they delivered him today, they're not going to
be tried by then.
The first day they could start the trial is the time that Joe Biden would be taking the oath of office. The president would be gone, and that would just be the beginning of the trial. So you're not going to finish the trial in the 1 hour.
I think that this is fraught with peril. They're trying to make some point. I think it's going to hurt Biden. I think it's going to hurt the presidency. I think the president will be acquitted. I think there's no jurisdiction to begin with, and this is another one of these, the man's leaving office. What's the point?
Yeah. No, I think
they're going to say the point is to bar him from life, but you weren't successful when you tried to do that, which was a year ago when there was a real impeachment trial. This is like trying him after he's gone. I don't get it.